with some pictures. Eyes on me. I'm going to give each group of pictures. You're going to have a heads together where everyone can see these and share them. And you're just going to take a look. Share what you see, maybe make some predictions, some wonderings, and then talk about it. Cool, cool? Okay. Oh, that was on. Thank you. Here you go. Share these as a table, heads together, and you may begin once you get your pictures. There you go. There you go.
Oh, it's supposed to be like parts of the
Heads together. Thanks for following my problem.
what does this look like? That looks like Canada and USA. That's what it says. It's a female. I can tell you where you can find those at. Yeah, true. I think this. So we can find some dinosaur bones in the ground.
Yes. We're going to bring it back together in 1 minute. Start gathering those pictures up for me in their foot. Number ones, can you gather these up for me? And when they're gathered, can you quietly come bring them back up to the counter? Okay. Eyes on me. Does anyone want to share an observation or prediction? Jaden?
I saw like a dinosaur.
1 second. Are we all listening to our friend?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's show respect.
It was like a little picture in the beach, but like there's like dinosaurs.
In the beach, there were dinosaur bones. Nice observation. Do I have a prediction from the room? A prediction of what they think they saw? Eva?
I think I saw a pterodactyl.
You think you saw a pterodactyl? Anybody else? Any other predictions? One more prediction. Lilu.
I think I saw
Maybe a baby T-Rex. Awesome. Anybody else? Okay, hands down. We're going to start. I'm going to give you some fun facts. First, we're going to practice saying a word. Eyes on the board. Readers, ready? Okay. My turn. Albertosaurus. Say it with me. Albertosaurus. Good. Now let's put those words together. Albertosaurus. Whisper it. Albertosaurus. Growl it. Albertosaurus. Robot syllables? Albertosaurus. Very good. Okay, so here's some facts. Show me you're listening. Thank you. Thank you, Lutz. All right. Did you know the Albertosaurus can run up to 19 miles per hour? 19 miles per hour.
That's more than my car.
information about this picture. Did you want to share that? It's bigger than a person. Excellent. So she can tell from this picture that it is taller than a person. Awesome job. 1 second. Last one. My eyes are on the sides of my heads. The Albertosaurus's eyes are on the sides of their heads. I would like you to have a quick, quiet heads together. Why do you think that is? Just a wondering.
Because their eyes are so their eyes are like that, so they I can't see in the middle of their head because their eyes are so far.
2. Readers ready? Vloggers, thanks for being ready. Okay, 3rd grade, here's what we're going to do. Today, we're going to work on vocabulary. So we're going to start with a brand new word. I'm going to write it up. 1 second. This word is uncovering. Say that with me. Uncovering. Sing that word. Say it to the ceiling.
Uncovering.
Whisper it to your toes. Say it to your elbow partners. Nice job, Isa. Raise your hand if you have heard that word, uncovering. Thank you for doing that quietly. Raise your hand if you have never heard that word, uncovering. Thank you very much. Okay, heads together. Predict. What does uncovering mean? Heads together. Nice job showing your friends we're ready. Okay, let's start with the Huskies. Number 2. What do you think uncovering means? Thanks for solving that problem.
Uncovering means like, if my ELA spiral is covered in sand, I can grab a brush or a shovel to uncover it.
Can you predict what that word means without using the word uncovering? So I heard some other words.
I think it means like, digging away or brushing away sand.
Digging or brushing away. Thank you. Awesome job. Let's skip over to the Vikings. Number 4. What do you think uncovering means?
I think you take something off.
To take something off? Awesome job. And I saw some people agree with that. Anyone else connect with that? To take something off? Awesome predictions. Thank you. So here's what we're going to do. When I say uncovering, you're going to say uncovering, and then you're going to say take off and reveal. Are you ready?
Got it.
Uncovering.
Uncovering.
Take off and reveal. Let's do that all together. Here we go. Uncovering. Uncovering. Take off and reveal. Nice job, 3rd grade. I'd like you to get up and go practice that signal with somebody in the room. Come back in 15. 0. Readers ready. Thank you, ELA. Thank you, like I said, we're going to learn and use vocabulary in context. We're going to learn and use vocabulary in context. I'd like you to have a heads together. What do you think I mean when I say that? What are we going to learn today? Heads together. Learn and use vocabulary in context. What are we going to learn today? Okay. Eyes up. Thank you, Yamale. Thank you, Ava. What are we learning today? To learn and use vocabulary in context. What does that mean? What do all those words mean? Vanessa? We're going to be learning about the world, possibly. Cadence? To learn and use vocabulary in context. Does that tell you dinosaurs? Maybe. We did see pictures of dinosaurs. Jessica? We are going to be learning things every day. Eyes up. Noah, pencil down, please. Thank you. What's vocabulary? Let's break this down. What's vocabulary? Devin?
It's like the meaning of the word.
Yes. What is vocabulary?
The meaning of the word.
That wasn't everybody. What is vocabulary?
The meaning of the word.
Excellent. So we're going to be learning, pencil down, please, the meaning of the words. Okay? And we're going to use them in context. Why is that important? Think about that. Why do we need to know the meaning of a word and be able to use it in context? Heads together. Why is that important? Thank you for that. Heads together. When you've discussed it, you can show me you're ready. Cougars are showing you they're ready. Okay, are you ready? Why is that important? Why do we need to learn vocabulary and use it in context? Eva, thank you.
Because maybe like when we like if we have to use it, then if we can't know it, then if you had to say it, then you might like get on your report card or something like that.
For our report card, this will be on our report card. That's not why we learn things though. So we know facts about the word. Good idea. Yamale?
When we went today, your teacher asked you something you didn't know, might be some confidence, but if you remember it, you might get better.
Okay, so we can remember it when somebody asks us questions. That's a good idea. I'm going to tell you another reason why it's so important to learn what words mean. But I need you to lean in for a secret and keep our hands very quiet. Thank you. You can only hear secrets if our hands are very quiet. We learn vocabulary so that we can communicate with each other. So we can communicate with each other. Why is it important to learn vocabulary, everybody?
We communicate the word.
We have to know what the words mean so we can talk with each other. Cool, cool? So we're going to do that right now. We're going to hear some vocabulary words in a story. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to come to the carpet. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to come to the carpet so that you can hear a story. So think about what I'm looking for. What am I looking for, third grade?
Making good decisions, solving problems, showing respect.
Come on down. You don't need anything with you. Thanks for knowing where your teacher is. instead of climbing over her friends. So Anna's going to be our scout today. Tell Anna what she's looking for. Making good decisions, solving problems, showing respect. Anna, can you scout from there? Or would you like to sit somewhere else? Okay. Make your choice. Solve the problem. Okay, are you ready? Raquel, you won't need that, so go ahead and set it down. Okay, so here's what we're going to do today. This week we're going to work again, eyes on teacher, to draw conclusions. To draw conclusions. So good readers draw conclusions from facts that they hear. They use evidence and clues that the author gives them to figure out what the author is trying to say. Authors don't always tell us everything we should know because they know we're smart and we're going to hear the clues and the evidence. Thumbs up if that makes sense to you and you've heard some of that before. Maybe this. What's that? Should we dance? Let's dance with just our hands. Ready?
Detail, 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 conclusion.
Good job. So we're going to rework on that skill. Are you ready to hear a story? Show me your listening ears. Here we go. Otzi's story. In 1991, two tourists were hiking in the Alps and saw something that scared them half to death. Looking closely at the treacherous path, the tourists saw a dead person half buried in the snow. They could not understand why a corpse would be in such a harsh location, high in the mountains. They thought it might be a hiker who lost his way and froze to death, so they called the police immediately. The police came and took the remains back down the mountain. While they were looking for clues about who he was and where he was from, they discovered something amazing. The corpse was 5,300 years old. Scientists from all over rushed to the mountain to study the Iceman they named Otzi. Scientists have found many skeletons and mummies through the years, but Otzi was the oldest. This person died 1,000 years before Egyptians built the pyramids. He died before humans in that part of the world used writing. Having his body gave scientists the opportunity to gather evidence about how Otzi's people lived and worked. It even provided clues about what they ate. Unlike fossils, which are preserved bones, the Iceman's organs, skin, and even some of his clothes were still present. Scientists were able to prove that the Iceman had eaten bread and deer meat right before he died. They also learned that he died in a fierce battle. He had an arrowhead lodged in his shoulder and many other wounds. He carried a stone knife, a copper axe, and a bow and arrows. He also had a basket with berries inside it and a kit for making a fire. Scientists are still uncovering new facts about Otzi. These facts allow us to learn about what life was like thousands of years ago. Today, Otzi is kept in a special freezer that keeps his body from rotting. He will be studied for many years to come. I'm going to give you a chance to just talk about that with your elbow partner. What did you hear? What are you thinking?
I think Otzi is
Just so.
What did you hear in the story? What's interesting to you? 5 seconds. Eyes on teacher. Thank you for those conversations. I appreciate that a lot of you solved a problem to find a partner or include people who didn't have a partner. So we're going to talk about some questions with this story that have to do with drawing conclusions, which we're going to study all week. What conclusions can you draw when you visualize fossils and then visualize Otzi? What are you visualizing when you hear the word fossils? And then what do you visualize when you think of how they described Otzi? Heads together. What do you visualize? Scouts listening. 5 seconds. 1. Thank you, Noah's group. Okay, let's go Eagles number 3. Do you want to share what you visualize? Listening ears. What are you visualizing when I say fossils? Do you need another heads together? Let's all have a quick regroup, heads together. What do you visualize when I say fossils? 3, 2, 1. Looks like our sharer is ready. Go ahead, Vanessa. Bones. And now what do you visualize with Otzi? Otzi is different from fossils. Let's go loggers number 2.
Because he wasn't bones yet.
He wasn't bones yet. What was he? What did you picture when I described him?
He's still a body.
He's still a body.
He can't turn into a fossil yet.
He's not a fossil yet. Cadence, did you want to add to that? He was in a freezer? Was he in a freezer? He's in a freezer now. Was he in a freezer when they found him?
No.
He was in the snow, but he was being preserved, I think was the word they used. Awesome job. So, what can you conclude about that? What can the scientists do because they have Otzi rather than a fossil of Otzi? Heads together.
How did he get there? He was so big. How was he not dusty yet? Put him in the freezer and then study it.
What can scientists do?
Like put him in the ice box or they pretend to be
5,
or you can put him in a secret ice box instead.
2. Thank you. Okay, Vikings number 3. What can scientists do with Otzi that they can't do with fossils? Conclude that.
Like, they can learn more stuff about some stuff with skin and not a fossil yet, to learn stuff and see what happens before they are fossils.
So they can learn things about his body before it turns to fossils. Am I saying that right? Anybody else think that same thing? Awesome.
Me too.
What mental picture did you see when you heard, this was the part that I liked the best, when scientists proved Otzi had eaten bread and deer meat before he died? What were you picturing? They didn't quite say how they figured that out. Draw a conclusion. How do you think the scientists figured out what he ate? Heads together. One. Thank you. I know it's hard to wrap up our conversations. I appreciate you guys showing respect that way. Let's go number 2 from Cougars. One moment. Everybody listening?
Yes.
I like that word she used. Examined his stomach. Anybody else think of that same thing? Examined his stomach. It said they still have his organs because he hadn't rotted away yet. So your stomach is one of those things, and so they probably looked inside. Good job drawing that conclusion. Last one. What conclusions did scientists draw about how Otzi died? What was that conclusion? Yamile, how did he die? They decided he died in a battle, and what facts did they use to draw that conclusion. We know in science we've practiced drawing conclusions. How did those scientists come up with that? Heads together. How did they know he died in a battle? Three. Thank you. Lutz number 1. How did they draw that conclusion? What facts or evidence did they have?
There was an arrow in him and an axe and a stone knife.
So he had some tools and he had an arrow in him, I think. Something in him.
And he had some wounds, which was kind of disgusting.
He had wounds. Awesome. Disgusting. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. We are going to go back to our desks first. Think of our word and what our signal is. And when we're all done with our signal, we're going to go back. Eyes up there if you need to remember. Have a whisper reminder with your friend. What do we say when we do this? Uncovering.
Uncovering.
Take off and reveal. Scouts watching. All right. Anna, who did you see that was?
Making decisions to solve problems, showing respect.
I saw Lisa because she was paying attention. She was looking at the people who were talking, and she used the word I forget the word.
Uncovering. Good. Okay, was that making a decision, solving problems, or showing respect?
It was showing the respect.
She did. She showed great respect. And for your scout prize today, you guys can choose a dinosaur picture at the end of the day. Sound good? Okay. All right, friends. Because our target is to learn and use vocabulary in context, I'm going to ask you to get your textbooks out so we can look at our words 38 to 39. Textbooks 38 to 39.
This book is lighter.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked that. We heard a lot of words in that story. We need to learn what they mean. Textbook is a hard one. It's hard to remember. Be first, not last. We're ready readers. First, not last. So thanks for helping your friends. Eagles are ready. Loggers are ready. Thank you, Vikings. Nice job. Okay, here we go. Ready? Uncovering.
Uncovering.
Take off and reveal. Thank you. Ready, readers? Fingers in the book. First word I'd like you to find is remains. What word?
Remains.
Whisper that word. Sing that word. Grumble that word.
Remains.
Thank you. I'd like you to put your finger on the sentence under the word remains and read it to me. Get ready?
These are the remains of a large dinosaur.
One bone is all that is left. Heads together, predict what that word means using context, using the sentence. What does it mean? Heads together.
Someone died. Something is and like thank you. Don't take me like
3, 2. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to go Vikings number 4, remains. What do you predict that means? Something that's left? What words in this sentence, what context clues can we find for what remains means? Yamale thinks it's what's left. Raina, what clues do you see in that sentence?
Remains, so like it's something that
away. Do you see clues in here that help you figure that out?
One more is all that is left.
All that is left. Nice job finding that context. So here's the definition. Remains are a thing that's left over. What is remains? Things that are left over. So think about it. Describe what the remains of a birthday party might look like after the guests have gone home. Eyes on me. I'm going to give you some directions. In a Heads Together, I want to hear the word remains when you describe the birthday party after the guests have gone. Heads together. Awesome job. I heard some great ideas of what was left over. Now I'd like to form a sentence using the word remains. Hold on. Lean in for a secret. It can't be the sentence right in front of you. Come up with a new sentence using the word remains. Ready, go. I'm going to call a friend. Huskies number 4. A team sentence, please.
Okay, so.
Nope. I called on her, but if she needs some reminding, you can whisper it to her. But Lily's going to share. She's got it, I think.
The remains of my birthday party were cups, wrappers, plates, and balloons.
Cups, wrappers, plates, and bowls. I see Ava's connecting with that. That would be remaining after a party, right? Awesome job. Remember, our target for today is not only to learn what the words mean, but to use them in context in a way that we can understand and you know what the word means. Next word, find this picture.
Found it.
Evidence, what word?
Evidence.
Let's robot syllables that word. Ready, go. Evidence. Nice job. Whisper it to the ceiling. Whisper it to your elbow partner. Evidence. Now, finger on the sentence. Readers ready? Egg fossils give evidence or facts about how dinosaurs raised their young. Heads together, eyes on me first for an instruction. You're going to predict what it means and talk about what context clues you found. Ready, go. You have a lot to say about evidence, but I need to bring back. Waterfall, waterfall. Thank you. That's not a quiet waterfall. We're at a quiet waterfall. Waterfall, waterfall. Thank you. What does evidence mean, and what clues did you find to help you? I didn't call it. Yeah, Eagles 3. You're very popular today. Vanessa, Eagles 3. What does that mean? What does evidence mean? Facts, possibly about dinosaurs, especially from the picture, right? And I heard you say this word, so I'm just going to circle it. Evidence or facts. This is a huge author context clue. Eyes on me. I have another secret for you. A lot of times when you read a sentence that has or blank in it, they're telling you a synonym for that name. Facts. Evidence is the same something as a fact or a clue. A what? A clue. So here's what it means. Facts or signs that show something is true. Facts or signs that show something is true. Please take 10 seconds to go tell a friend that and come back and sit down.
Facts is something that shows.
Stand up, use this opportunity to stretch. 5. Lisa looks ready. Vanessa looks ready. Eva looks ready. Thanks to stop for making your way back safely. So think about it. What evidence do scientists have to prove that dinosaurs existed? Were you alive when dinosaurs were alive?
No.
Were the scientists?
No.
Millions of years ago. So how do we know that's true? What is their evidence? What's their evidence? Raquel?
Fossils.
Fossils are the clues or evidence that shows dinosaurs used to be here. Next word, find this with your finger. Check out that picture. Gray is ready, thank you, Gray. Skeletons, say it with me. Skeletons. Robot syllables. Thank you, let's do that more appropriately. One more time, show me you can handle that. Skeletons. Thank you. Scientists rarely find whole dinosaur skeletons like this one. Like this one. Somebody raise your hand and tell me what you're going to have heads together about. I've done it a couple of times now. What are we going to discuss when I put you together in heads together? Jessica?
Skeletons.
Yep. What we think it means and what else? Predict what it means and also
Say it in a sentence.
you could. I forgot to do that for the last one. Whoops. Skeletons. What does it mean? And what context clues do you see? Then we'll make a sentence. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, after I tell you what it means. So what do you think it means? And what clues in the sentence show you? Ready? Heads together. Two. One. Thank you. What do you predict skeletons means? Loggers for.
I think skeletons mean like your bones.
You think it means bones? Was there something in this sentence that helped you figure that out? You don't really know. Did you already know that word before? Who sees a clue in this sentence? I need ready readers, please. Thank you, much better. Ready readers. Who sees a clue in this sentence? Does it say anything about bones? There is a clue there, though. Eva?
Whole dinosaur skeleton.
Whole dinosaur. So I know a whole dinosaur probably has bones in it, we hope, so it can stand up straight. Cadence?
In the picture, there's bones.
Like this one. This time our context clue came from an illustration, or not an illustration, a photo. Lisa agrees. Nice job finding the context. You have to learn what the word means and use it, so here we go. Humans and many animals rely on skeletons to support their bodies and protect their organs. It's your bones. It supports your body and protects your organs. What two things do skeletons do? Support your body so you can stand up straight and protect your organs. Sorry, what?
You said otherwise you would just be a skeleton.
Do we have skeletons?
Yes.
I can't hear Cadence. It protects all of, whoever has a skeleton has protected organs. It's awesome. Think about it. Waterfall, waterfall. How do skeletons of animals who are no longer living look different from living creatures? How do skeletons of animals who are no longer living look different than when they were living? How are they different? Devin, thanks for raising your hand. Riley, we'll just go ahead. Sorry.
It means like they look a lot different because they stood on their hind legs like we do, except their body is like, except their head is coming out this way.
Are you talking about dinosaurs?
Yeah.
I'm going to reread the question for you because it doesn't say dinosaurs. How do skeletons of animals who are no longer living look different from creatures who are living? So how would a dog skeleton look different from a dog? Sorry about that. How would a dinosaur skeleton look different from a living dinosaur?
Because the dinosaur looks kind of weird with the ribs coming down.
Can you see ribs of a living dinosaur?
No.
What's on it? What did Otzi have that a skeleton doesn't show? We couldn't see his skeleton because he had
Skin and clothes.
clothes. What else?
Organs.
Organs.
And muscle.
Muscles, hair. Nice job. Okay, now team sentence using the word.
Skeleton.
That's the word. Using the word.
Skeleton.
Okay. Points go to the sentence that I call on. Oh. When you have a great sentence, show me. Great sentence, show me. Bloggers. Eagles are ready. Huskies are ready. Ready? Cougars, number 4. Give me a great sentence using the word skeletons.
Cool skeleton of an animal.
I found a cool skeleton of an animal. Nice job. Can anybody add some context to their sentence? Maybe a because or that I thought. Something that adds, you know, because I can find anything of an animal, right? I found the collar of an animal. I found the leash of an animal. Let's add some context so that I can tell you know what skeleton means. I found a skeleton of an animal.
Scientists found a fossil of a dinosaur skeleton.
Oh, scientists found a fossil of a dinosaur skeleton. Nice job, I like that sentence. Thank you, Flutes. Let's go back to the soft sentence. I need that sentence added to. Let's add some context. I found a skeleton of an animal. What can we add to that that shows Musab knows what skeleton means? Because we know he does. Devin?
Maybe like a dinosaur skeleton was buried and a scientist found it.
Stop there. Musab, your sentence was, I found a cool skeleton of an animal. I found a cool skeleton of an animal. What can we add to his sentence to show we know what skeleton means? What are skeletons? Bones. Can we use the word bones?
Yes.
Do that. Heads together. I found a cool skeleton of an animal. Now, say something else with that. Word bones. What do you have?
dog like bones?
That's 5. Noah, I want to share your sentence. Do you want to listen to it? Okay, show me your listening. Ready, listeners? Okay, I found a cool skeleton of an animal, and I picked up one of the bones. Nice job. That shows me, let's get extra points, that it has context. Ready, readers?
Yes.
Okay. I think this is our last word. Buried. What word?
Buried.
It looks like buried, but it's buried. Say it again.
Buried.
Say it to your friend.
Buried.
Say it to the ceiling. Stand up. Ready? We're going to touch our toes with the syllables. We're going to say it 3 times. Ready? Buried.
Buried. Buried.
Have a seat. 3, 2, 1. I'll read the sentence. You track along with your fingers. Many dinosaur bones buried or covered in mud turned into fossils. Heads together. What does it mean? How do you know?
I don't want to
Fast 5. Raise your hand. What does buried mean? Kenny.
Like covered.
And how do you know?
Because I saw or buried or covered.
Or covered. So these two are synonyms. Nice work. Let's see. Something that is buried is covered or hidden, often underground. Think about it. Things buried long ago are often discovered by accident. How might that happen? Things buried long ago are often discovered by accident, not on purpose. How did that happen? Heads together. This is your group. Three, 2, 1. Thank you. We're going to skip that sentence. Fierce. Find that picture. Fierce. Say that word.
Fierce.
Whisper that word. Sing that word. Fingers on the sentence. Many people think of dinosaurs as fierce animals that fought all the time. This is an excellent sentence because it adds context so that we can figure out what fierce means. Heads together, what does it mean? How do you know?
Dangerous animals.
What does it mean? How do you know? 5 seconds. 2, 1, 0. Thank you. That was lovely. What does it mean and how do you know? Let's go Eagles 4. What does fierce mean?
Oh. Fierce is like some animal like attacks you and stuff.
So a fierce animal might attack you?
Yeah, like crocodile stuff.
Ooh, yes.
Black widow.
Black widows. So what in here helped you figure that out? Who sees context in this sentence? Lily, thanks for raising your hand quietly. Sorry. Fought all the time. Fierce animals. So this is an example of giving an example for context. They fight. Fierce animals fight. Something that is fierce is
Wild, strong, or dangerous.
wild, strong, or dangerous. All synonyms. Which wild animals do you consider to be fierce and why? Jaden named some. Go ahead and name some. Lions, tigers, bears, Oh my.
Alligator.
Lovely. That was my shark. Shark. Fast five. This is your last team sentence, and I want you to work really hard to add context. Remember our target today. We need to learn the words, but also use them in context, in a sentence that shows you know what it means. Fierce. Go. Team sentence. If you're having a hard time with context, use the word because. 5 seconds. 2, 0. Fast 5. Waterfall, waterfall. Loggers 1. Fierce.
Like it could be dangerous.
Use the word fierce in a sentence.
Fear. Something that could hurt you.
Okay, we're going to try it again. I'm going to give you another heads together. We're not saying what it means anymore. I want a sentence using the word fierce. I want a sentence using the word fierce. Go. Heads together.
I have a fear.
Because. Ooh, I like that because. That shark is fierce because. Can you say that? 3, 2, 1, 0. Fast 5. Cadence is going to give it another chance. Thanks for making that great decision.
The shark is fierce because it bit me.
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Say it with her. That shark is fierce because it bit me. What was the context in her sentence? How do we know what fierce means? Everybody, what did the shark do? Ouch. Okay, 10 seconds shake break, please. Sorry. 5, 3, 2, 1, 0. I have a lot of instructions for you before I ask you again to come to the carpet. So listen very carefully. First, we're going to set up our notebooks. In your TOC and also on your first blank page, you're going to write Alberto Soares. Be first, not last. Thank you for getting started right away back here. Make sure it's in your table of contents and also on your first blank page. Today's date and the week. The week is Alberto Soares. When you have that written down, you're going to turn your book, your textbook to page, I don't know, let me look. 40. So you're going to need your notebook and your textbook and a pencil. Show me you're ready. Rena is ready. Lisa is ready. Eva is ready. Do you have your assignment room on there? Noah's getting ready. Thanks, Noah. Your towel looks good to go. On your next blank page. Do you have it filled up? Your assignment name? Thank you. When you come to the carpet, you're going to need a little extra space. You're going to sit crisscross with your notebook in front of you, open to your assignment page, and your textbook open to page 40. Raise your hand. Tell me what we're doing. What are you going to need to do when you come to the carpet? Emily? Need a little more space. Listening ears. notebook in front of you. Where did your book go? In your lap, page 40. And your pencil can go on the floor too. So I'm going to ask the first Vikings and Eagles to push back just a little bit so we have a little extra space. Are you ready? Uncovering. Uncovering. Take off and reveal. Uncovering.
You mean this kind of book? Yeah.
Whoa, yeah.
We're not using that.
I appreciate the great decision making going on out there. We're going to use our textbooks first. Those can be in your lap, notebooks on the floor, just like Devin. Is there any way we can get Jessica into our space?
Jessica.
Jessica, find a space so you can be with us. Thank you. Okay. Before we get started, I need to make sure that everybody has an elbow partner. You have 5 seconds to touch your elbow partner. Make sure everybody's included. Solve those problems. Thanks for solving that problem for them. Aiden, do you have an elbow partner? Quick. That was a very long 5 seconds. Here we go. Okay, Devin, I'm going to ask you to scout from right where you are because I don't want you to leave your partners. Sound good? What's he looking for?
Making decisions, solving problems,
We have a lot of supplies down here, so think about how you can be doing all 3 of those things so you can be scouted out. We're going to do some more practice reading our vocabulary words in context. I'm going to say it again. We're going to do some more practice reading our vocabulary words in context in a way that we can figure out what they mean. So I'm going to ask you first to read page 40, background. Page 40, what page?
Page 40.
Read it silently to yourselves. How can you show me you're ready when you're done reading? That's what ready looks like. Ready, go. Read it silently to yourselves. And the table below. Most of us look ready. I'm going to have you finger track along while I read that to you. You don't quite need your pencil and notebook just yet. I'm going to read that same page to you to make sure we've got all the words. Finger tracking, Scout's watching. He's going to pay extra special attention to tracking because that's a good decision. Background, target vocabulary, dig and discover. Paleontologists That's a tough one. Say it with me.
Paleontologists
Are like science detectives. They use dinosaur fossils buried in the ground as clues to solve mysteries. Each new fossil provides evidence to help prove ideas, such as whether a dinosaur was fierce or gentle. Sometimes
Paleontologists
are lucky and find entire skeletons in a single location. Other times, the remains of a creature may be only a few bones or teeth. Scientists can learn more about the past by
uncovering
fossils. Down below, I looked up how to say that caption. Put your finger on the caption or the label. I looked up how to say it this morning. Carcharodontosaur. Nice job. That's a tough one. Thanks for trying that with me. Table, why did dinosaurs disappear? There are 3 ideas here. Idea number 1, a giant asteroid hit Earth, which caused dust and gas to block the sunlight, and then dinosaurs died of cold. Sounds just like our skill last week.
cause and effect.
Nice job. Idea number 2. The climate or Earth's long-term weather changed, which caused plants that dinosaurs eat to die, and the dinosaurs died from hunger. Idea number 3. Huge volcanoes erupted. Ash and gas from volcanoes blocked sunlight. Dinosaurs died of cold. Thank you for tracking with me. All our vocabulary words are on this page, highlighted in yellow to show their context. Point to some of them. Nice job. Now, while we were reading this, raise your hand if you wanted to share something really badly. Some personal connection or a wondering or an idea that it sparked inside of you. Anybody have something burning inside them that they would like to share? You're all going to get an opportunity. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. This is something new for us. It's a strategy called a quick write. So a quick write is this time where you get to make a personal connection with what you're reading and say all those things that you are burning to share about skeletons or dinosaurs or digging or uncovering or any of the words on that page, something that it made you think of or some questions you might have. Do you understand what you're going to do right now? The reason it's called a quick write is that I'm only going to give you 2 minutes to write as much as you'd like about something you just read. You have to write for the whole 2 minutes. Before I do that, because I hear already that I don't have anything I'm thinking about right now, let's have a chat with our elbow partner to get those burning things out, things you really want to say, and that might spark something in Cadence or Musab who don't really have something to say right now. Cool, cool? Heads together. So not writing yet, just talking. So what questions do you think So she wants to know.
Yeah.
What plants did you
Asteroid came.
Good idea. 5 seconds. 2, 1, 0. Fast 5. Okay. Now we're going to go to completely silent time. You can put your book down in front of you and put your notebook in your lap. Or you can do a side-by-side deal that Jessica's got going on here. Show me with your fingers how many minutes you get. You gotta write for the whole 2 minutes. Questions, something interesting, a wondering, a personal connection. Whoops. We'll wait. Thanks for solving that problem quietly. I appreciate that. Ready? Go ahead and start.
What are we writing about?
Freeze, eyes on me. What are we writing about? Lisa? Questions we might have based on what we just read? What else? Maybe a personal connection, something interesting you read, a wondering. Go ahead. Just your thoughts. Right. We're about halfway through our time. Keep writing. Maybe what you already know. Questions you have. More seconds to wrap up those thoughts. Okay, finish that final thought. Okay. You're going to use this page and the vocabulary words on it to answer some vocabulary context questions. Are you ready? Okay, go ahead and put your notebooks down. If you want to finish your quick write rate later, you can. That's always okay. Where might you see fossils in your state? We live in Washington State. Where might we find fossils? Right?
Maybe like somewhere in the desert, maybe.
So the eastern part of our state is very dry. It's a little more desert-like than where we live right now. We might find it in the ground there. Elbow partners, have a talk about that. Where might we find them?
Where do you think?
3, 2, 1. What would you like to find that is buried? Think about that. Just thinking. Just thinking. Jaden's reminding us that our scout is watching. What might you like to find that's buried? Hands in the air. Aiden, what would you like to find that's buried? Treasure.
And a fossil.
Treasure and a fossil. Number 3, suppose someone sent you an unsigned note, a note that is not signed. What clues might help you figure out who sent it? Think about that. What clues might help you figure out who sent a note? Heads together. Clues. What Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fast 5. I'd like somebody to answer that question in a full sentence using the word clues or clue. How might you figure out who wrote that note to you? Anna, thank you for raising your hand.
Some people write their name on cards.
So listen one more time. They didn't sign it. So what clues could you use? Use the word clues in your answer. Oh, a clue might be you have a pen pal, so it might be that person. What other clue might there be? Use the word clues, please. Jessica?
One of the clues can be if you know their writing.
A clue might be if you know their handwriting. Excellent. Number 4. What would you do if you found dinosaur remains near where you live? Think about that. Who heard a vocabulary word in that question? what was the word in that question? Nope. Want to hear it again? What would you do if you found dinosaur remains near where you live? Raina, what word did you hear in there that we're studying? Whisper it if you know it. Raina? Remains. So we're going to use that word in our answer. Listen to the question again. What would you do if you found dinosaur remains near where you live? Start with the word if. Heads together.
I would just show my mom.
If you have a good answer, show me you're ready.
No more hockey.
3, 2. Thank you. Yamale?
If I see
1 moment. Listeners ready? I'm looking for this one. What am I looking for?
Showing respect.
Showing respect.
If I see a dinosaur bone, I will tell my mom.
You would tell your mom. If I see dinosaur remains, say that with me. If I see dinosaur remains, I would tell my mom. Nice job. What is your favorite location for playing and why? Just silently think about that.
What was that again?
I'll say it again. What is your favorite location for playing? Hold on. Silently thinking. You're going to answer it using the word location. Brave hands in the air. What's your favorite location for playing? Musa, what's your favorite location for playing? Musa, where do you like to play? At the beach? That's a great location. Can you say that in a full sentence? The location. What's the location you like to play at? The beach. Can you say it in a full sentence? The location I like to play at is the beach. You know what? Musa made a really great decision not to give up on that. I'm not sure everybody heard it. Can we say it together again? The location I like to play at.
The location I like to play at is the beach.
Thank you for being so brave. Nice job not giving up. Okay, next question. Why might doctors or scientists use skeletons? Full sentence answer, heads together. Why might doctors or scientists use skeletons? Who's ready? Scouts watching. Right? Why might doctors and scientists use skeletons? Listening ears?
Doctors might use skeletons to study the human body.
What an excellent sentence. Did she use the word skeletons?
Yes.
Did she use context to show us what skeletons means?
Yes.
What was her context clue? To study the body. Nice job. Okay, name an animal that's fierce and how does it act? We already did that. What's a fierce animal?
T-Rex.
I heard lion. What makes a lion fierce? Say it in a full sentence. A lion is fierce because...
It roars.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, fast 5. Yes?
Devin keeps raising his hand up because he has a good fact about dinosaurs.
That's nice of you to stick up for him. Go ahead.
Well, I don't have, I forgot it, but, I have a good fact about, lions.
Lions are fierce because... Full sentence.
Lions are fierce because they have a fierce roar when they go into, hunt their prey.
Wow, hunt their prey. Nice job. We have 3 more questions. Let's take a very quick standing shake break because I think we're getting something. We're getting something. You should be on the correct page though. 5, 3, 2, 1. Have a seat. We gotta move on. Tell me all those things later. Kenny, appropriate page. Ready? Here we go. We're gonna finish strong 3rd grade. What's our goal today? Well, yes, but what's our target today? What are we learning?
About dinosaurs.
No. What are we learning?
With context.
Vocabulary words with context. So we need to focus up. Kenny. No. Thank you. All right, here we go. How could you prove that you are a good friend? I could prove I'm a good friend by, heads together.
I can prove I'm a good
Three, 2, 1, fast 5. Nice job, 2 to go. Why is, oh, we need to practice. Uncovering. Take off and reveal. Nice job. Why is uncovering the past a good idea? Why is uncovering the past a good idea? Heads together. Heads together.
Because scientists want to examine because scientists and then today
Okay, this is cray cray.
excuse me, Ryan, could you speak up?
Fast 5. Waterfall, waterfall. Noah. Reading for you. Thank you. Last question. What evidence shows that someone is unhappy? Show me the evidence of being unhappy. Show me silent unhappiness. Show me silent unhappiness. I can't take it anymore. Show me happy.
Yay.
Great, thank you. Listen to my directions. I need you to safely get back to your seats. Freeze. I haven't said the word yet. And I need you to remember that you're carrying pencils when you travel. Uncovering.
To take off and reveal.
Nice remembering.
When he was watching your Scout is still watching.
Devin, who did you see that was?
I saw, it was actually pretty hard.
It was. Some people were making really great decisions today.
It's really pretty hard to come across.
Okay. Well, who did you see?
I saw, it's really hard to do it. Yeah.
Quick choice.
Who said he won? I saw, Musa because, he was keeping his eyes on you and he used his hand lightly.
And he worked really hard at the birthday. I agree with that choice. So on your way out the door today, you guys can choose a dinosaur picture to keep forever and ever. Okay, 3rd grade. Directions, are you ready? All right, ready. You are going to partner read that same What page? When you come to a yellow word, you're going to talk about what that word means with a friend. Got it? Raise your hand and tell me what. Raise your hand and tell me what you're going to do. Jessica.
We're going to read the background, and if we get to a highlighted word, we're going to talk about it and what does it mean.
Excellent. That's exactly what you're going to do with your partner. So show me partner reading body language. Who's your partner and how can I tell? Let's see. I'm looking for, oh, Gray's doing it. Preston's going to definitely be able to hear what she's saying. She also has her finger on the first word, ready to read. Turn and face your partners. Finger on the first word. Now show me how you can tell me you're done with partner reading. That's what done looks like. Partner reading, ready? I'm looking for group points. Go.